almost thought you were going to kind of maybe take control of the game, and they just kept coming back, and finally they come up the win. Is it kind of a frustrating night in that sense because it looked like you guys were on the cusp of maybe having this one from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, we had the lead, but we couldn't hold it, so it's definitely a tough one.
The atmosphere in the locker room after a game like this?
I don't know. I think what stays in the locker room, it's in the locker room. But it's not good, obviously.
After a game like this, you guys played well for parts and then obviously not.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's just a little bit frustrating, we were in a playoff spot, but now we're trying to get into play-in, so it's obviously frustrating.
Can you talk about your thought process for the last play?
Sorry?
Can you talk about your thought process for the last play, like the play, like the clutch time, like the last minute?
I don't understand what you mean.
What do you think? How you believe you played for the last minute, like the game, the final quarter?
Get a bucket.
You guys struggled in the second and third quarters to close quarters tonight. I think they got 7 or 8 point runs to end both quarters. What did you see from what you guys were doing in those stretches of the game?
I mean, they're a great team, sometimes they're going to make a run. I think they were hitting, at the end of second quarter, they hit 3 threes, so that's why they went on the run.
Jason's talked about how road trips for you and Kyrie specifically, they feel like that's a good time for you guys to just get to know one another since injuries have really made that difficult. What have you guys done to try and, get that chemistry going and just to build familiarity with each other?
I mean, just playing with him, we met too with Jason, so it was good, us three. But this is the whole team, man. The whole team got to step it up a little bit. We still have chances, so we shouldn't give up yet.
What did you think of the pick and rolls that you were running with Kyrie this game? Obviously, you guys have done it a little bit, but what do you think about the effectiveness and when is it most effective for the two of you?
I mean, yeah, that was good. You can decide. Probably the defense, they struggle a little bit. What the coverage they're in, so it was good. I think we're gonna do it more.
Do you like him being up with you near the ball, creating, or do you like having him as an outlet on the weak side, or is it just a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both.
You feel like you guys are taking steps in the right direction, even if this wasn't a win today, given you were playing a high-level team on the road?
Right now, every game that we don't win, I don't think it's a step forward. So we just gotta win games, Like I said, we shouldn't give up. We still have chance.
Tape on your thumb the past couple games, and it seemed like you maybe got it tweaked again tonight. What is that you're dealing with?
Yeah, it was the game in Charlotte. I pulled it off, but it's nothing serious, just a little bit.
Kyrie mentioned aggressiveness is something that the clutch offense could improve on. What have you kind of seen in those last 6-minute stretches in some of these recent losses?
I think it was good shots. We just didn't make it.
You had a moment with a beat at the end of the game there. Can you share any of that conversation?
No. You don't have to say everything to the media.
Do you feel there's enough time to build that cohesion you guys need forward to get those certain situations, who's going to be where and know what to do at that exact moment?
Sorry?
Do you feel there's enough time to build that cohesion?
I don't know what's that word.
Well, the word chemistry.
Do you feel like you have enough time to build enough chemistry to get where you guys want to go?
I mean, I don't think it's more about chemistry. We just got to win games. That's it. We got to play hard. Everybody that goes to the court got to play hard. It's about 5 players being on the court and just playing hard and win games.
I was basically going to ask the same thing, but how would you describe the mood in the locker room after leading by 12 and having a tough second half?
It's definitely tough. Emotionally, anytime you lose, especially when you're coming out of halftime, you feel like you have control of the game. And you have to go through growing pains as a team. We're learning each other on the fly and just learn how to win ball games and keep a mental edge over our opponents, no matter who we're playing. So we're definitely learning in that direction. But in terms of the now, where we are controlling our present destiny as a team, going against the Sixers, I feel like we had a great chance to win this game, and just our poise down the stretch just wasn't at a high level that we needed to get this win, and they took full advantage of it. They got to the free throw line. The refs were calling things left and right, and kind of our rhythm was broken after a few shots, and that last 2 minutes didn't go down. You could see it was wearing on a few of our faces. So, again, these are just growing pains that we're going through right now in the pressure cooker of the season, and it's just tough lessons we got to learn and just grow from.
Do you feel like you have enough time to grow, given that there is the clock of the playoffs coming up and that it's just such a scramble at this point in the season?
It's been a scramble since I've been here, so trying to fill in roles that kind of were filled in from other people, and I think the realistic view is that when I came here that this was going to be a growing process. This was for the long term, and this was for something that's bigger than ourselves, and we can't just be a championship team overnight, especially me coming here. So I think I've wrapped my head around that aspect of it. I'm at peace with it. It doesn't mean that I'm giving up on this season or any of my teammates are, but we know where we realistically are, and our destiny is in some other team's hands, losing games. So we just have to control what we can control and focus on the next few possessions that we have in these next games against some really good teams that want to position themselves for the playoffs or fighting for spots. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. But again, the last 6 minutes of the game, I felt like we could have been better, including myself.
What did you see as the issues at the end of the second and third quarters, too, where they were able to get, I think, 7 or 8 point runs in the final 90 seconds or so to kind of cut into lead you guys out?
Yeah, I think you've seen it with some of the great teams in our league over the past few years of finishing ball games. There's a sense of toughness. There's a IQ that's there for the possessions that matter. And I think a few times throughout the game in the second and third quarter, we were very careless, and we just weren't playing with that desperation that we needed where we are at the point of the season, I felt like. So when those possessions happen and then they outscore us 32-27, that kind of shows you where the aggressor was, who the aggressor was, and that was them. And, they've been doing it all season, and obviously us beating them at home, there was some things there as well. So when we're going against these great playoff teams, I expect us to be in the game through most of it, but we just got to stay poised at the end of the game.
Sense that you guys are about to break through. I mean, you've had some bad losses, and then you had a blowout against the Pacers, and then you stuck tough with a really good Sixers team. How do you feel? Do you guys feel like you're almost there?
Yeah, I felt like that up until like 6 minutes left to go in the fourth, where I felt pretty strongly about the result of the game. No matter what they were doing on the offensive end, I felt like we had them pretty much figured out. And then I think in those last 6 minutes, we just lost a bit of our edge and our poise, and it was self-inflicted, and we could all feel it. So those are the moments that you would usually go through in the beginning of the season or mid-season, and we have it figured out, and everybody's temperament would be on to the next thing. Everybody's attitude would be on to the next thing because there's a bigger goal, and that's to win the game. But right now, we just got to face reality that these are moments where we're human, and guys want to be in the game, and guys want to make impact. But overall, only 5 guys can be out there, and we all got to cheer for our teammates and be there for each other. So that's the name of the game. Who's the closest team, and what are they willing to sacrifice for each other to win the ultimate goal, which is the championship in this league. So you see the teams that do it every single year, and they're the most selfless, and they do all the little things necessary to win ball games.
In a few of the recent clutch losses, the offense scored like under 20 points. What are some patterns that you've kind of noticed that still need to be worked through, as a team, to kind of improve that last 6 minutes?
Just staying aggressive, and understanding that in that 6 minutes, where the NBA game is now in 2023, you can get a lot of possessions up. There are a lot of shots from the three-point line that are coming that are ricocheting off of long rebounds. That's how a lot of offensive rebounds happen down the stretch. And then just pushing in transition and making a smart play. There were a few times we had the gravity of the defense on one of our players, and everybody else was on the perimeter, and we all felt like we had a great shot, but we all just got to trust that whoever has the ball is going to make the decision for us. So the patterns of the clutch games that I feel like we've grown from is just making quick decisions. As long as we stay in aggressive mode and, you know, the trust is there, then I feel like we'll be fine.
Long chat in the locker room, I imagine. Like, what does the debrief look like after a game like this? Who are you talking to, and what are you guys discussing?
No, well, for me, it was more with the coaches than the players. So just understanding how we can get better. You know, another game that's close on the road. You talk about what Luka just said. We got to play hard. You know, the 5 guys out there, but we're getting great looks, but we're just not making them.
Do you have hope or belief that there's still time left in the season to figure this out? Is it possible?
Yeah, I think it's always possible. It's, you know, just your belief system. If you believe in it and have positive energy and not be selfish, you know, that's where it starts. It's about the team. You win as a team and you lose as a team, and you try to get better as a team. It's not just, you know, Kai and Luka. You know, when you look at the open shots, everyone got open shots tonight, and we just got to be able to make them. You know, when you look at Reggie's first 3, he makes it and then he couldn't buy one. You know, Maxey makes one and then turns some down. But, you know, we've talked about making the right play, make or miss. That's the way you got to live. And if you start to turn things down, it turns to, you know, the basketball guys will go against you. So we just got to, you know, stay together, stay positive, and find a way to win in Miami.
Yeah, you brought in a couple guys that have won some championships, some veterans. Have you noticed a difference once they came in with the other guys as far as, you know, being able to teach and respect and all that?
Yeah, I think when you talk about Kai's ability to win, he's teaching, he's leading, he's trying to help, he's trying to do everything on and off the court. He's been a true pro. He's been helpful. When you look at Luka, he's trying to help. He's generating a lot of open looks. Also, you know, finding his own shots. So he's playing at a high level. It's just a matter of everybody being on the same page and being connected. You know, here right now we're struggling. We got 2 guys that are showing, the other 3 on the floor are not connected. So we just got to find a way to be connected as we go forward here.
I think there were a few plays like down the stretch, like JaVale's goaltend and Maxey's foul that you know, were, I guess some could say questionable. What were your thoughts on potentially using a challenge during those situations?
Yeah, the goaltend, the ball doesn't. There's no way to stop or challenge that. It's not a dead ball. You know, the ball is taken out and continue to play. And so, just looking at that play, also was 2 points, and just felt that we could continue to keep going. And then understanding the challenge with Maxey, you could challenge that one. But at that time, we're down, and I'm figuring that we're going to need some timeouts going forward. Understanding scoring wasn't the thing for us in the fourth, just like it has been, you know, here of late. We just can't score. But it's not because we're not getting good looks. It's not because we didn't challenge. You know, those 2 plays, you look at them, you move forward. But you can challenge a lot of other ones too. I think JaVale wanted me to challenge one that he didn't think was foul. So we got a lot of people who want challenges, and instead of just focusing on the play or the next play, we got to learn how to move forward.
You and him and Kyrie had a good talk. When was that, and what message did you want to get across, or what did you guys want to discuss?
Well, that's an easy question. It was in Indiana, and that's why I told you I thought things were going to go well, and they did. And so maybe we need to meet more often, but maybe we're going to have to add some more players to that meeting so that they can play well too. But we talked in Indiana, had a great conversation, and we felt as a group that we were going in the right direction, but it didn't last long. But those 2 played well tonight.
When picking lineups for like a big game to close down the stretch, how do you determine like some of the final spots, like you know, Reggie and Maxey tonight, as opposed to some other options like Jaden or Christian Wood, or, you know, guys like that?
Yeah, you know, when you look at Hardy's end of game, in today's game, they were taking advantage of him being a rookie. They put him in everything, and he struggled. So I didn't want to leave him out there on an island. And you looked at Seawood, understanding there was some breakdowns, and so we had to figure out how to get some stops once we were down, and then also be able to score. And then for both of those guys, offensively wasn't at a high level. So I went with a different group to be able to generate offense and defense at the same time.
What did you see from JaVale? Because with Embiid, it was going to be an important game for him to contribute. What did you see from him?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. Unfortunately, Embiid's one of the best players in the world. So with the 3 and then the mid range, you got to try to make it on the floor, but it's easier said than done. And so I thought JaVale did a good job.